What is up, everybody? It's your boy Verse here today, and we're going to talk about some sad news that happened at PlayStation today. Apparently, a big chunk of the Bungie staff that's working on Destiny 2 and the Marathon remake have been laid off. This is the biggest news that has happened today. As Tom Warren has stated, Bungie is the latest PlayStation studio to be affected by layoffs today. The layoffs come 15 months after Sony finalized its $3.7 billion deal to acquire Bungie. The entire game industry has been hit hard by layoffs in 2023 because we just recently had Connie Booth, who PlayStation said she was laid off, but there's conflicting reports because David Jaffe said she was fired. We have Jim Ryan retiring. So what to say, when it's probably not retiring, but he's getting fired. Then we had Media Molecule. Some of those people had layoffs as well. So it is not looking good at PlayStation right now. And this is not even like no console war nonsense. This is just the state of the industry right now. Like, PlayStation is, something is definitely going on in the PlayStation right now. It is not good news. I don't care about how many consoles have been sold. Like, they got these crazy amount of consoles sold. They're making all this profit. But you mean to tell me you got to have all these layoffs as well? Something just isn't add up. And then they're focused on games as a service, which I've been hearing is like a lot of internal conflict. A lot of studios don't like doing these games as a service games. The focus is being on that. So I'm thinking that's a lot of mismanagement going on, and that is the true reason why Jim Ryan is actually so quote unquote retiring. But it's just my theories about this. I'm not 100% sure, but for one thing we do know is that people have been majorly impacted by these decisions, and a lot of people have been laid off at PlayStation Studios. So this is one employee says, I have been laid off at Bungie. It's a real thing to write as I sit here pondering what went wrong. I'm still processing it all, and while my first instinct is anger, I know I regret what I'll say. Thank you to everyone at Bungie who helped me make my last 5+ years the best ever. The next person. So one day, we just lost 2 community managers, Hippie and Sam, and we lost the social media lead, Griffin. From a player perspective, something about this is very worrying. It feels off. We're losing the people who actively engage with us the most. What a crap show. There's another person. Getting texts from friends impacted by layoffs this morning. It is frustrating, infuriating even, to continue seeing people who strap in to do good work losing their financial security due to poor management. The continued echoes of poor decisions made this feel avoidable. In a few of these cases, knowing how much effort these folks put in during incredible difficult development and sentiment times put a sour taste in the mouth. Proactive/reactive work always at the end of the funnel and having to make do with what they had and now let go. So this is not a good look. Like what somebody says, this is a crap show right now. And it's, like, once again, this is not no fanboy stuff. Like, this is people are losing their jobs here. So this is very disturbing that this is happening. But what is the purpose of all these console sales? You bragging about how many consoles you sell? Like, big whoop-de-doo. If people gotta get let go, what is the purpose of bragging about these console sales? It doesn't seem very stable at PlayStation right now. It seems like a revolving door of constant developers at this point. So Bloomberg is reporting that Bungie is delaying Destiny 2's Final Shape expansion to June 2024 and Marathon 2025 amid layoffs. So everything is being pushed back from this big layoff right here. So also, yeah, layoffs are going as we speak. Yeah, it just sucks all around. So only PlayStation and the big bosses, big wigs of PlayStation know what's really going on, but people are definitely devastated by this. It's like every week you hear some news of somebody being laid off. Like, what's the purpose of these acquisitions if you're going to lay the people off anyway? Hopefully Microsoft don't follow suit with that big Activision Blizzard acquisition, because I don't want to do a similar story where Microsoft laid off a lot of people at Activision Blizzard. Like, what's the purpose of these big acquisitions if you're going to lay the people off? Like, it doesn't make any sense, but here you go. Then the focus, once again, on games as a service. Why? That don't sound like that was going to bear good fruit from that decision right there, but we will see as time goes on. But Bungie over here making Jim regret that Bungie over Activision Blizzard King statement. I blame this man, Jim Ryan. Is Jim Ryan to blame for this? Who knows at this point. After this season, 4 months with no season, 8 months without the current one, Final Shape also will be affected in terms of polishment and or content, also due to changes in the teams. As a Destiny 2 player, I feel the final shape of the final shape of the final shape. Sony ruined Bungie. Did Sony run? See, I'm not a Destiny 2 fan, so I really don't know at this point. I know old school Bungie because they made the Halo games, but I haven't really been following up with the new Bungie who makes the Destiny games. But they said the Sony ruined Bungie, so I don't know how true that is, to be honest. Bungie 100% one of the best game studios around. Marathon delayed to 2025. PlayStation studios really have no games. Sony is destroying Destiny 2. People are not happy with Sony having control over Bungie at this current moment. So, sad day with all the layoffs. That acquisition sure is going well for Sony. That's how it started when they acquired Evolution Studios. Sony buys studios to make them worse. 7-month seasons. They must be regretting hard selling to Sony. I mean, at this point, you might as well just stay independent at that point. Like, oh man, this is just ridiculous. Yikes, major L. And people wanted Sony to buy Take-Two. I don't think they even can, but at this point, maybe people should just hold off on buying these big publishers and studios at this current moment. I don't know. Just my thoughts about this, because this is getting crazy. I hear so many different reports on layoffs, people getting fired left and right in the industry, and it's mainly come from the PlayStation side of things. Once again, I know I prefer Xbox, but this is getting crazy. I still like PlayStation. I still like their games. I still like their console, but this is just wild at this point. People getting laid off left and right, and this is supposed to be the most profitable, one of the biggest industries on earth at this point. Like, people are even saying that the gaming developers even need a union at this point. I agree. You probably do need a unionize at this point in time. I'm not even gonna read the fanboy post. Like, people are gonna take console war shots. Like, at this situation, like, it's just stupid to make this about console war nonsense. Like, this is people's jobs being affected here. Yeah, this is just wild. They lost 2 community managers, the people who are actually engaging with the fans. Like, why would you fire these people? The people who engage with the fans. It's just like, wow. What did people expect when they got bought by Sony? I'm genuinely curious. They realized that they can't pay all these people to do nothing. It's not that surprising. Plenty of other companies figured it out during the pandemic, but Sony deal likely just delayed it for Bungie. More than likely, Sony is dropping their executives inside Bungie, which always follows on massive layoffs as the new top brass brings in their own people and resources. It's super difficult to be excited for Destiny when you see all these awesome people being laid off, especially when many of them have been very community facing. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of, I definitely see how you're a hardcore Destiny fan. Be definitely saddened by this. Like, how do you get excited for the new content at this point? Like, they fired the people who were speaking to you directly. Like, this just sucks all around. So, this is a very depressing video. As I'm going on, this is very sad to see this stuff right here. This is sad to see, but that is what's going on right now in the industry. People, massive layoffs. It sucks, but news have to be reported. So that is, I'm gonna conclude it right here. Hopefully Sony gets it together, because once again, people's jobs are being affected here. But yeah, hopefully they get it together at this company. As people get worked, big people are leaving. Like, Jim Ryan is retiring. If he is the cause, I'm not saying he is or he isn't, but if he is the cause, I mean, he's retiring soon. So who knows? But I'm gonna conclude it right here. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below about this. Leave a like if you like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.